Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB Today. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The Chase star Bradley Walsh has opened up about an unexpected experience he had whilst filming his new Sky History series. Bradley Walsh has shared his awe over a mind-blowing venture he had within the confines of Egypt's Great Pyramid. The beloved host of The Chase embarked on a North African journey to shoot his Sky History series, Bradley Walsh, Egypt's Cosmic Code, where he answers some of ancient history's biggest mysteries. At 64, Bradley sought to explore and perhaps validate a widely circulated conspiracy theory claiming that extraterrestrials are behind the construction of Egypt's majestic pyramids. During his time at the Great Pyramid of Giza, Bradley was struck by awe, calling the visit mind-blowing, and going on to voice concerns over the perils of web-based misinformation. While hinting at a revealing silence within the pyramid's bowels, he cast doubt on outlandish theories, stating, "Being so deep inside the pyramid, I was expecting a lot of noise. I've maintained that I think the Great Pyramid is some kind of power plant in its own right." Speaking about his profound experience, Bradley added, "It was mind-blowing being there," and revealed an intriguing fact. The death of the famous Cleopatra VII actually happened closer to our present day than to the dawn of the ancient era. With an undertone of caution about online speculation, he remarked, "You can go online and get a load of speculative information from people that have never even been there. They've got it from a book or somewhere else online, and you know how dangerous the web can be in terms of misinformation," reports the Express. Bradley shared his enthusiasm for the Great Pyramid of Giza, encouraging viewers to visit and experience how it broadens the mind. He also admitted that, in a way, it also narrows the mind because you're faced with the real information right before your eyes. The majestic Great Pyramid of Giza stands over 400 feet tall and served as the tomb of Pharaoh King Khufu. It holds the title of a UNESCO World Heritage Site and has the distinction of being the only remaining wonder out of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Yet, its unimaginable scale and precision have spawned far-out theories, including the claim that aliens may have had a hand in its construction. On a different note, Bradley, who is teaming up with his son Barney for the upcoming revival of the Gladiators TV show, recently gushed to the BBC about another project that holds a special place in his heart. He's referring to the ITV travelogue Breaking Dad, which he co-stars in with Barney. Fans of the show can rejoice as it gets ready for a 6th season, promising new adventures in Asia for the father-son duo. While speaking with Tommy Tiernan, Bradley divulged why this particular venture means so much to him. "It's one of the most wonderful things I've ever done, because spending time with my lad." He continued by reflecting on the time past, saying, "From the age of 18, he's now 26 by the way, that's how long the show's been running, it was just extraordinary." The studio lights beamed down on another lively afternoon at The Chase. Contestants shuffled nervously behind their podiums, waiting for their moment to face one of the infamous chasers. Bradley Walsh, as always, was full of charm, laughter, and the kind of cheeky humor that had made him a household name. But this episode would take a turn so extraordinary it would leave even the unflappable Bradley utterly lost for words. The contestant in question was a softly spoken man named Thomas, a librarian from Devon. At first glance, Thomas seemed ordinary, bookish, quiet, with spectacles that slid down his nose. But as soon as the cash builder round began, whispers rippled through the audience. Thomas wasn't just good, he was extraordinary. Question after question, he fired back the correct answers with lightning precision, barely hesitating. 11, 12, 13, 14, Bradley's eyebrows climbed higher with each correct answer. By the time the round ended, Thomas had amassed an almost record-breaking total of £18,000. "Well," Bradley laughed, shaking his head in disbelief, "I think I've just discovered Britain's very own human encyclopedia." But what happened next made that nickname seem like an understatement. When Thomas faced off against the chaser, Anne Hegarty, the governess, the room held its breath. The two minds collided in a battle of pure knowledge. Yet Thomas didn't just keep up, he outpaced her. Historical facts, obscure literature, niche science, nothing stumped him. It was as though he'd read every book ever written. Even Anne looked rattled, narrowing her eyes at him as if trying to work out who or what she was up against. Then came the final chase. The remaining teammates had already been eliminated, leaving Thomas to face the chaser alone. He had 2 minutes to answer as many questions as possible. What followed was nothing short of staggering. Who was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize? Marie Curie. What is the capital of Burkina Faso? Ouagadougou. In Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, who is Viola's twin brother? Sebastian. On and on it went. 32 questions answered correctly without a single pass. By the time the clock stopped, the audience erupted into cheers, while Anne admitted defeat with a rare, respectful nod. Bradley stood frozen, his mouth opened, then closed again. For once, the ever-talkative host had no words. Finally, he managed, That was mind-blowing. Thomas, I've been doing this show for years, and I have never, ever seen anything like that. Not only have you just set the record for most correct answers in a final chase, but I genuinely think you might be the smartest contestant we've ever had. Thomas simply smiled, adjusting his glasses. I do read a lot, he said modestly, though the gleam in his eyes suggested there was more to it than that. As the camera zoomed in on Bradley's astonished face, viewers across the nation knew they had just witnessed a truly historic episode of The Chase, an episode that left Bradley Walsh, for once in his career, completely speechless.